Hello, fabulous Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of May 2014, Love Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month, towards the end of the month, there is a new moon taking place in a part of the sky that has to do with your career. And I actually talk about this in the general horoscope. However, in the context of love, what I find really interesting about what is taking place with this new moon is that while this new moon is speaking harmoniously with Mars, by that time direct, in the part of the sky that is just after yours, so in a part of the sky that has to do with finances, so that suggests career advancement, financial advancement, empowerment as well. But what is also happening with this new moon is that it is speaking with the ruler of your opposite sign. So whatever the ruling planet is, for example, your ruling planet is Mercury. Whatever Mercury is doing in the sky really speaks to what's going on with you, what feelings will be coming up for you, what lessons will be coming up for you, as your ruling planet is your representative in the sky. The ruling planet of your opposite sign, the part of the sky that has to do with relationships, with partnerships, with love as well, and committed love especially, the ruling planet is the representative of that part of the sky or that person in your life. And the fact that the ruling planet, the opposite sign, is speaking with this interesting vibration, what astrologers call a square. So it is an energy of tension, and it's an energy of motivation to experience change. And really, it's an energy of asking yourself tough questions. And especially when it's Neptune, the modern ruler, placed this way with a particular new moon, it does suggest that you are going to be facing some illusions, facing some disappointments, as part of accepting the whole truth of who this other person is, and in turn allowing that to provide energy to you to understand what it is ultimately that you value and how it is that this current situation fits into your ultimate goals in life and what it is that you believe is the highest that you're meant to go. Does this person actually fit into that or not? And where they don't, you will be prepared to start afresh. But where you think that there is a chance that they do, you will be willing to do the inner work that you need to accept whatever it is that is not in alignment with a fantasy. And look, we all have that. I do think that because this is ultimately your opposite sign, as a Virgo, a part of you looks at the other person in a way or expects the other person to be in a way that can be more idealistic at times than is fair to expect of another human being. And this is a lesson for a lot of Virgos out there, that the reality is more beautiful sometimes than any sort of fantasy that you can imagine, and that soulmates come in all types. Soulmates aren't necessarily the ones that sort of ride in and sweep you off your feet and carry you away, but they come in a variety of situations, bringing a variety of lessons, and yet those lessons resonate with your soul, making them somebody with whom you have that soul connection. So when I look at this configuration taking place, if you are in a committed relationship, all these issues seem to play out, especially with you, where there is an element there of you sort of saying, okay, wow, like I thought that we were headed in this direction. I thought we agreed that this is where we were going, and we're committed to this direction as far as achieving our mutual goals together. And you may realize that actually there's been a little bit of disconnect there. And so there's a need to sort of look at who this other person is and what your goals are, how you've changed, what it is that you want, and how it is that now you can make this fit together in a way that actually feels like you're on the same page, or at least feels that you have a better level of acceptance of who this person is and are still able to be changed positively by it and like the change that comes by it as well. Those of you who have somebody in your sphere, I think the likelihood of you seeing things in this other person that become sort of this moment of honesty for yourself, if you will, is something that is actually really valuable as part of a relationship. And I also think, as I look at this, that there is going to be some value for you in actually asking yourself these tough questions, whether or not you actually bring them to the table, whether or not you actually have that exchange with this person. It does look like there is a decision that you make in regards to this connection that provides a boost to how it is that you understand yourself and the value you place on yourself. So where it is maybe that you've been settling for less, which I do think is going to be sort of a wake-up moment for at least some of you out there, if you have somebody in your sphere, where it is that you've been settling for less, I think you're about to sort of have a bit of a wake-up call and realize that that's what you've been doing. And will start to raise your standards and think more highly of yourself and think more highly of what it is that you believe you're actually ready for in a partnership and what you want to now align yourself with so you can draw that into your life. And those of you who are not attached to anybody, those of you who are open to love, I do think that this moment provides an important time for you to look at just what your expectations are with another person, where it is that maybe it is what you are valuing, where it's a healthy sense of self-value and where maybe that value is actually based on, you're calling it value, but it's actually based on sort of a protection mechanism. It looks like that gets sort of some insight on your part and allows you to more honestly examine where you are in love and where it is maybe that you can see the beauty in what is less than a fantasy. And where it is that maybe you've been sort of, as I said, saying to yourself that, oh, I value myself really high, so the guys or the girl has to be this, has to be this, has to be that, and you've made this list, but actually the other person or another person can't be all that, or that isn't really what you want. You just created that list so you don't have to look at some deeper issues, and that list is part of a wall. That's all the insight that you start to get and start to admit to yourself if there has been sort of any protection happening and where that protection has been wise. And that in turn is going to allow you to return to a sense of healthy self-value that is based in an understanding that you are truly worthy of being loved and that you can let go of any excuses and start to allow that in. One thing is for sure, though, this is about the truth. It's about the truth of what you really feel, the truth of who you're really with or not with, and the truth of your current romantic situation. And it looks like, regardless of your romantic position, you are energized to make changes. And you are energized to think about the big picture, to hold yourself in a higher regard, and to make changes from that place. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great month. Be fabulous and enjoy.